Welcome, everyone, to the Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force versus Hammer Down. First map of this game was New Queen Street. And the teams are the wrong side. Give me 1 second. Now that that is fixed, we can watch this map get underway. We see that Hammer Down running with a sort of divey, sort of brawly comp. Got Ana, Kiriko, Ball, Sojourn, May, and Zarya against a very brawly comp from Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force. Oh, Shadowbow getting picked off by Toshi very quickly. Gonna watch as Tarun goes in, finishes off Fantasy, and rolls through the tanks. Crypt going down, but Blue following shortly after. Then Toshi and Tarun finishing off Bossman. It was a full loss for the Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force very quickly. Now let's go over their composition. We have the Ramatra and Zarya, nice strong brawl frontline, with Venture, Cassidy, and Ana and Lucio. Very fast, very strong backline as well. We see Blue go in along with Shadowbow. Oh, I accidentally pressed print screen. My screen froze. Wyvern along with Shadowbow getting all of these kills. Shadow going forward, looking to get a nice pick or some nasty off angle. Wyvern hiding in a corner, playing Venture like the hole digging rat that they are. Alright. Wyvern knows they're there. Tarun getting a pick. Wyvern going in with ult, picking off both of the supports. They find 3. They find 4. Holy crap! We see Wyvernicane get a big flank off. Shadowbow also using High Noon at that point. Not really sure why. We see Tarun swapping off of the ball onto the Ramatra, and Crypt switching onto the Moira. It's a very brawly backline now. Or brawl-oriented comp, no longer a hybrid. Blue Dragon Flood with the Nano Boost, then going to Annihilation. Really just running over the team with this team. Going to get frozen and then unfreeze, losing its Annihilation, unfortunately. But, team won the fight, so not really that big of a deal. Shadowbow picking off Crypt first, then getting Safi, leaving the enemies with no backline. And we see Hammer Down just falling again and again. Oh, Toshi running forward. Wyvern picking off the last ones, and that is the first point down for, or the first game down for the Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force in only 4 minutes. On Suravasa, which is our second point, we see some swaps. Diesel now on the Roadhog, Tarun on the Orisa, Zippy on the Junkrat, Toshi on the Cassidy, and Crypt back on the Ana. Then we see a very hard composition swap. Not particularly a different playstyle, still Brawl, but we see the Mauga for Blue Dragon Flood with the Brig Juno backline from Fantasy and Snake, with Shadow picking up the Reaper. Blue gets exploded because he is a fraud. Get this man out of my lobby. He is so dogshit. Troon going forward, getting picked off because he got booped in by Wyvernicane. A very clean boop. And somehow, even though Blue falls over very quickly, they are able to stabilize as a team. Blue back, finally. We are about to watch the start of Shadowbow shenanigans as he is in the backline. He picks off Diesel. Let's go over to Bossman for a second, just to see what is happening. Shadow picking up a devious angle, not sure what he's doing with it yet. Wyvernicane on side with him. We see Tarun trying to get Shadowbow. We watch as he takes yet another flank. Wyvernicane going in first. And Shadow gets his Death Blossom off, taking 3 down with him. He doesn't even die on the way out. And that is going to be 100-0 on the first point for the Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force. We see Blue being the first to go to point, meeting Hammer Down on their way to point. I just realized that I forgot to update the score. Blue about to go down yet again because this guy is playing Mauga and he is a fraud. He's standing inside of the Orisa ult and dying. Look at this absolute fraud play the video game. Shadowbow not going down yet, surprisingly, thanks to Bossman and Snake Sandwich helping him stay alive. Crypt goes down, and Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force about to get the second point in their control. Looks like Hammer Down is stabilizing. I am excited to see Toshi use his ult here. A nice off angle. Maybe not wide enough, but it is good to split the attention. Alright, Blue making it to the team and getting absolutely melted by Toshi because this guy is a fraud. We see Fantasy pull out the Brig ult and 3 go down in response to Blue dying. I think Blue Dragon Flood just is unable to play the video game. This guy is a loser. We see Shadowbow keeping the team alive with his bubbles. Not Shadowbow, Bossman. And he gets a big grab, capturing 2 and forcing out Fortify from Orisa. That is second point just completely taken. Blue back, finally just charging in, like he always does, getting big feeding energy, because this guy is a massive Samoan and loves to eat. Here we see everyone from Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force kiting out, trying to meet up as Blue takes yet another fight, because this guy does not know when to quit. And he goes in, popping the cage on the enemies, and the fight breaks out. Shadowbow getting his Reaper ult Ajax, but takes down the low Tarun, who gets revived by Crypt. And we see Tarun just going forward because his team is behind him. He has the shield now, thanks to the Orisa perk. Charges ult again and takes down both tanks, but unfortunately is taken down by Shadowbow and Wyvernicane. Wyvernicane now looking to stabilize, hopefully. Res getting canceled by Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force, and Shadowbow going forward and pushing the enemies out, and they were able to stabilize long enough for Blue, the fraudulent tank player, to get back. This man has no hands. Why does he have 2 guns? You see Wyvernicane sitting on a nice flank with their ult in hand. And they pop it, looking to take out Toshi very cleanly. Unfortunately, Toshi gets rezzed, but Blue slams in, and with that, they kill everyone yet again, taking a 300-0 and winning Suravasa in 6.5 minutes. As a reminder, it has been only 10 minutes. On to the final map of the series. We have the Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force on defense on Scrims Row versus Hammered Down. We see that Wyvernicane has swapped over to the Widow from the Venture, and Fantasy is off of support jail, getting to play Freya for once, while Shadowbow takes Zenyatta. You're about to see some of the most evil gameplay I have ever seen from this man. He is going to commit... Not yet. Not yet. I'll wait for the attack to say that one. We see Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force in high spirits, getting ready to play the video game. Blue very far forward, as always. This guy is the main tank player, and as soon as he steps one little bit out of position, he is dead. Because this man is a loser, and he does not know how to kite. Bossman getting saved by the supports now that Blue is down and doesn't need his ass saved always. We see that teams are stabilizing thanks to Shadowbow just getting a ton of kills. Crypt went onto the Freya. Tarun now on Zarya. Diesel on Reinhardt. Zippy taking the Ana. Safi still on Kiriko, and Toshi on the Cass, whereas most of Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force is the same, with the exception of the players I mentioned earlier. They are still holding in front of Hotel because Blue seems to like holding here. He is a very aggressive player and needs to take his meds. Bossman backing up his mans, and Snake gets picked off, unfortunately, because this man was close enough to get his ult cancelled. We see Wyvernicane sitting with his ult, and there's a big ult coming out from Bossman, allowing Blue to just start punching and use Annihilation, even though it very much was not needed. This guy is fucking losing it. Please someone check him out for schizophrenia. Who was he seeing there? Blue getting his first perk. And Crypt hops over to the Hanzo. I don't know if we're baiting at this point. Okay, now he is on the Echo. This makes a lot more sense. Probably getting out of spawn quicker. Blue able to put the shield up in time to not get his head blown off. And we see Shadowbow went on the flank and took down one. This guy is insane. What the hell? We see the Shatter come out, and it is finally time for Hammered Down to, in the name of their team, get a fat Shatter and wake up Flats. Don't talk to me until I've had my fat Shatter. Alright, first point. Finally a point taken by Hammered Down this set. Blue now playing to contest the Arch. Him and Bossman just running it down on main. We see him just start punching. We see him start punching. This guy loves to punch. Kills Crypt. Bossman now taking the front line because Blue is out of place. And now he has Annihilation. He's going feral because he sees the enemies. A bullet shot comes out. That is 5 ults! 5 ults from the Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force on Hammer Down to hold 1 point. These guys are fucking insane. And that's why Vernicane using Infrasight, because this ultimate is basically just use it in neutral. Fantasy on the Freya, seeing something. This dude is watching his demons play. Blue missing all of the punches. Luckily, he has a team with him. What the hell is Shadowbow doing up here? This guy is gonna be evil. He takes out Toshi from across the map, and Blue is forced to push back into Hotel because this man is for some reason hugging the statue like a goddamn pervert. We see Ram glitched in the replay viewer. It is very funny to watch T-posing Ramatra, and the Ramatra dies because this guy is still so far forward while his team is pushing out. What is wrong with this man? We see Crypt lose the Ramatra copy, but still being very far ahead. It is nice. We see Tarun swapping off the Zarya onto the Ramatra, losing against Wyvernicane and Bossman, while Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force starts to regroup. We see Toshi coming. I press print screen again. He has the Deadeye. Will be looking to use it here. Unfortunately, Reinhardt just gets his ass smacked, and Blue takes out the enemies again. Getting a very big annihilation. You know, for being such a fraud, he did actually make that play work. He's so lucky he has a team that enables his schizophrenia. And with the Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force just pushing, holding so far forward, there's no chance for Hammered Down to get anywhere near point to contest. That is round 1. Now, I regret to inform all of you, there is a terrorist in the lobby, and you are about to see complete acts of terrorism by one man named Shadowbow. You'll just have to wait 20 seconds to see what I mean, but this man has turned this game from a 6v6 into a 5v7. Trun disappearing from the lobby because at certain points his game and internet kept breaking. And we see Shadowbow lift Blue up. You are gonna watch a lot of Blue getting grabbed by Shadowbow because this man loves to touch him. Wyvern getting on Mercy. These two just to piss off Blue to no end. Blue crying in the chat because this guy hates Lifeweaver. And the 5v7 is about to start. Blue runs forward, getting life gripped immediately. Luckily, Fantasy taking out one of the enemies with a nice shot on Freya, looking to kill more people. Blue gets charged because this guy is a fraud. Now would have been a good time to use life grip, but you know, what can we do? Fantasy still getting some nice poke off on the enemies. And we watch Blue actually get pulled forward by Lifeweaver. This is the only time that Blue's going to be helped by Shadowbow this entire set. We watch as Fantasy takes the high ground, looking to get a pick on the enemies. Unfortunately not. Blue getting grabbed yet again by Shadowbow. Take the, let's start a counter of the pulls, if you would be so kind. We see Blue starting to get the enemies. Blue getting pulled away yet again as he's about to go in and start fighting. Unfortunately, Wyvernicane is down now. Bossman going forward, trying to make some space while Blue is in Gay Baby jail. Getting pulled up by the Lifeweaver. I did not even notice the pedals while playing, but man, he just kept getting bounced around like a bouncy castle. Blue finally using his ult, and as soon as he uses the ult, he screams at Shadowbow, "Don't use the pull! Don't use the pull, please!" And Shadowbow finally listens. Let him go in, get his few. And he gets grabbed to save him from the Shatter, even though this man very clearly does not want to be pulled. He would rather have been shattered there. But it was surprisingly a good pull for someone who is throwing the game completely. Pulls away Wyvernicane now instead of pulling away Blue Dragonflood because he has resigned himself to cart. And that is all she wrote. The game's over in 22 minutes. Anti-Shadowbow Defense Force going on a speed run even when Blue had to play a 5v7 against his own Lifeweaver. Thank you all. Have a good day.